The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie show on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Free Kicks. So it was a great weekend for soccer/football.
It really was. Lots of good games.
I have a favorite moment I'd like to play for you.
Okay.
It goes a little bit like this.
1-1, corner. Somerslide from the left to take. It's a good ball. And Dyke's had it! Yes! Yes! Would you believe it? Incredible feat! Virgil van Dijk beats Pickford! Liverpool lead! Deep into stoppage time with the Hill Dickinson! We've been there before! It's Virgil van Dijk today!
That's Phil Thompson, who is kind of excited.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
got that.
He certainly was.
All right. Well, I just love listening to that. You want to hear it again?
No, it's fine. It's
okay.
fine.
Well, I guess we should just get to our show. It's time for Free Kicks.
And now, Free Kicks. Free Kicks with Illinois Youth Soccer Association's Director of Coaching, Adam Howarth, and Rick Kemper.
So you recommended it. It was the derby.
Yeah, I know.
The Merseyside derby. And I did get up early for it, and
Good.
I was not disappointed.
Good.
For once.
I'm glad you did. It was probably the third best match of the weekend.
Well, that is true. That is true.
But still a good one. And again, it's just the way it worked out in terms of it. But you've always got to watch a derby. Always.
You got to.
Yeah.
But that was, as you mentioned, it wasn't the best game of the weekend because that was the Manchester City Arsenal game.
Yep.
Which was an amazing game,
Yeah.
as you predicted. And you could just feel the stakes on the field. You could just feel it. And it went Manchester City's way.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of thought it. I spoke to a few people. I was in Kansas City with a bunch of soccer coaches this past weekend. And we talked about it, and I said, I think Man City's going to win it 2-1. Whew, what a prediction. I got lucky. But what a game. What a game. Really
all right, so now they are 3 points back.
Yes.
And they have a game in hand.
Yes.
And when they win that, which we're all assuming they will, they will be tied at the top of the table. Their goal differential is essentially the same, depending on how many goals they win by. Mm-hmm. And my point to the rest of the league is look out playing against either of these teams because they're going to try to run up the scores. Yeah,
exactly. And you're absolutely right. And when you look at the run-in, that's going to probably be very dependent on the teams. I feel bad for the Burnleys and the Wolverhampton Wanderers if you have those because they're pretty much done and dusted.
Right.
So there could be some cricket scores going in there. That's for sure.
At the end of the game, there was some tension. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, I did.
With Gabriel, and Haaland, and they basically headbutted each other a little bit. It was, it wasn't really a headbutt. I mean, it would have been bad if they gave him a red card for that, right?
Yeah, I think Scotland calls it a kiss.
You're right, exactly.
Scottish people call it a little kiss, and it was not much of it, really. No. You're absolutely right, and I don't think he didn't fall down and start rolling around on the ground, so I'll give him credit for that. But it was probably not the best thing to do.
Well, I mean, think about how intimidating it is to have Haaland in your face like that. Oh, yeah. He's such a monster. He's such a big man.
Yeah.
Even though Gabriel's a big guy too, for sure. Nothing compared to that.
No question.
So anyway, so Arsenal fans, full-fledged panic right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of tension for them. I mean, it's not over. I mean, that's what they keep on saying. They probably, if you look at it in reflection, the Arsenal team didn't play poorly. They played okay.
Yeah,
they did fine, especially if you compare it to the last time they played against them in the League Cup final. So the performance was fine, and it's just they were a little bit unlucky, especially right at the end with that header from Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
He could have tied it up, and then we'd be talking about something different about how maybe Arsenal's going to march the title. So it's just going to really depend on those next opponents. That's going to be the key.
Yeah. Another crucial game. This past weekend was Tottenham.
Oh, what a game!
They were leading 2-1 in the 95th minute against Brighton and give up the equalizer, those 2 points, that could be the difference between them staying up and not. As we record this on Tuesday, they are 3 points back of West Ham. And so it's time to start thinking about them. This is very, very possible now.
Yeah, it really is. And, if I look at the game, and I'm very reflective in what happened, and I feel really bad because this is where Danzo, the centre-back for Tottenham, got himself in trouble. I don't know if you remember how they scored that final goal to tie it up. But if he had the ball, the ball at his foot in the kind of right by the end line. All he has to do, and I made a living out of this, is smash it into the stands.
Yeah,
just boot it out. But no, he wanted to take a touch and another touch, and that's when he lost the ball and it crossed in. So they were literally a ball smashed into the stands away from winning that game, and we're talking about something totally different.
Yeah.
So it's. So give credit to Brighton to come back and get the draw, but now it makes that bottom 4 really very, very interesting.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm looking. Really, it comes down to West Ham and Tottenham and they've each got 5 games remaining.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at what their schedule says. The remaining schedule for Tottenham, they play Wolves. They could win that one. They play Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, Everton. Pretty tough.
Very much so.
West Ham remaining schedule is Everton, Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, Leeds. That's also very tough. I think that might even be tougher.
Yeah, I think so, for sure.
So, but there's only 3 points separating them. Right now, it could
2 points.
Go,
2 points.
Oh, it's 2.
It's 2.
You're right.
It's 2 points.
Yeah.
And that was the thing with the West Ham game yesterday. If they would have won, they would have pushed themselves even further apart. It would have been a 4 point difference. So, that could have made a huge, huge difference.
So that's where we stand right now with the league.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see in terms of the games. I mean, if I look at these games now. The Tottenham-Chelsea game, Tottenham never win at Chelsea. Never.
Right.
But the way Chelsea's playing, who knows? But the thing is, again, I think Tottenham can win those games. Everton's going to be tough, and both of them have Everton on their schedule. It might boil down to that Arsenal-Chelsea game, if I look at it, because West Ham has Arsenal. They've always struggled against them.
Yeah.
Tottenham have always struggled against Chelsea, but that could really make a huge difference in terms of how it happens. So that if they get a big win, either one of those win those games or get at least something out of those games, that could be the difference.
Well, any point that they get out of these games from here on in is huge.
True.
So we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot of news going on about managers. There is a new manager coming at the end of the season here. Marco Rose has been hired at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So, he was a Leipzig coach. He was Dortmund's coach. Legitimate big-time coach, right?
No question. I was very surprised how quickly they moved on this.
Yeah.
I mean, they must have had this in the plan because literally he only said he's not coming back, and within a few days, Rose was in.
Right.
So I give a lot of credit to Bournemouth. What a well-run club in terms of how they're moving forward. So I don't think there's going to be too much of a change there. They're going to continue doing what they do. They find players. I mean, how they got Semenyo, that guy was so good. And then he's so good for Man City. He's been the difference, him and Cherky.
Yeah.
Those guys have been fantastic. But, yeah, good luck to Marco Rose. Hopefully everything works out for him. Another German in the Premier League, right?
Yeah. And there's also a couple of other coaches that are definitely on edge.
Yeah, for sure.
Both of our favorite teams have a coach that is definitely in danger. Do you think Arne Slot saved his job with the win in the derby?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think he's gone. I think it's... I'll give him credit. He's been able to rebound and win a couple of games here lately. But when you look at the table and you look at where everything falls, it's not good enough for Liverpool.
Especially after they spent all that money.
Exactly. They spent way too much money on players, and they have not done as well. And now you're seeing an exodus of players.
Yeah.
So I think, it's going to be all change at Liverpool.
Yeah. And Ekitike with the ruptured Achilles.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a bad one.
We were talking about him and Isaac. They got too many strikers.
Yeah.
And fortunately, Isaac's coming back.
Thank God.
Yeah, because they would have been in big trouble. We wouldn't have had any strikers, and that's, close to 200 million between the two of them. So,
but, every time I watch Isaac play, he never touches the ball.
Yeah.
He's just, you don't even know he's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. Yeah. All right, so there's actually two more teams that we should talk about with potential coaching openings.
Yeah.
Your boys at Chelsea, I don't see any way they're going to keep him.
Yeah, the statements that came out were not fantastic for him. I think one of the owners with Bluco, he mentioned something about, we think he's doing a good job. We think we're going to support him. We think this is going to happen. That doesn't give us a huge amount of confidence that he may be back. Now, he's got a 5-year contract.
True.
Not that matters anymore these days, because they'll pay him out and move forward. But Chelsea needs a surge here. Champions League is something they've got to get in, you would think. And
it's not looking good.
No, they've got to almost win out. And the bigger issue is, they've had 4 losses in a row here in the league, but they haven't scored a goal.
I know.
So that's the other big issue.
It's a small problem.
If you don't score goals, you're not winning any games. So,
well, the other team, even though they're doing well in the standings, Manchester United, I think they've always considered Michael Carrick as a interim coach.
Yeah, I agree.
And has he done enough to be hired as that guy for that club?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm not sure. I think Man United are going to go for a big name coach of some type. I'm going to predict it.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
England wins the World Cup. Thomas Tuchel leaves, goes over to Man United.
Okay, I could see it.
That's my prediction.
Other than the winning the World Cup part. Yeah.
They beat Germany in the final. How's that?
Okay. All right. I can live with that. Okay, so that's the Premier League manager news, but there's also international news.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some of these stories because we don't talk about them that often. But Bayern Munich,
of course,
they just won their 13th Bundesliga title in the last 14 years.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad. And they won it by 15 points. They've got 15 points up with 5 games remaining. And they're also in the semifinals of their version of the FA Cup, the Pokal.
Yeah.
And they're in the semifinals of the Champions League. And Vincent Kompany doing okay.
Yeah, they're doing good. And as you mentioned, treble. It's a possible treble.
It's a treble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's Bayern. Congratulations to Bayern.
And let's not forget, their best player is an Englishman.
That's true.
Scoring a ridiculous amount of goals, by the way. I mean, he's almost got a goal a game.
That's my stat of the week this week.
Okay.
I'll just go right to it. Because he scored his 50th goal of the season last week. There are only 5 players that have ever done that.
Wow.
It's Messi, Ronaldo, Gerd Müller, another former Bayern player, and then 2 pre-war, Dixie Dean, and Pongo Waring.
Don't know him.
I don't know him either. But, not bad. 50 goals in a season. And he still has, possibly 10 games left. Imagine.
Yeah. I would think he's going to get a golden boot at some point here this season with the goals that he scored. But
it's about time.
Yeah. He's been tremendous. I'm excited for him and his confidence going into the World Cup. But yeah, they've just got things clicking. And I've even, people were talking about, is this the best Bayern team ever? I don't know. I mean, I think depending on how the season ends, I think you could probably put it up there as probably being one of the best teams. I know they had the great team that won during COVID, the Champions League, but if they do all 3, it's going to be hard to beat for sure.
I agree. We should also talk about the the Copa del Rey, because Pellegrino Matarazzo,
yes,
an American, became the first American coach to win a major trophy in one of the top 5 leagues.
Well, when I think of Pellegrino Matarazzo, I think straight away, it's like, is his middle name Chad? I don't know.
I think it's Lance.
Okay, all right.
Well, yes, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Real Sociedad is the team that won the cup. The Copa del Rey is like the FA Cup also.
Yeah, for sure.
And congratulations to him. And then one last thing I wanted to bring up, and then I just saw that in the news today. Guess who's coming back to the Premier League?
Don't know.
Frank Lampard.
Of course, yes.
Because they clinched Coventry City. He's the coach of Coventry City. They clinched the championship.
That's right.
And so they'll be moving up next year.
Exactly. Winners of the championship. Excited for them. They'll do well. They'll do well. I think they're going to have to probably get some money in to be able to buy some new players. But Frank, I'll give him a lot of credit. He's had a little bit of an up and down managerial career, but seems to find his way on the up again. So good luck to him.
Well, you can't say he's not paying his dues. He went down into the championship, and he is building a club from the ground up.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of little asterisks next to some of his appointments. We kept Everton up. That was a big one.
Right.
And then I obviously struggled a little bit afterwards. Chelsea, when he had Chelsea in the Champions League, they couldn't buy any players. So he worked fantastically well with that group of players. So and he did well when he was with Derby, got them into the playoffs, just lost out, and now he's in the Premier League with Coventry. So congrats to Coventry and Frank Lampard.
Free Kicks is brought to you by the Illinois Youth Soccer Association.
Illinois Youth Soccer has been proudly serving the Illinois soccer community since 1975. And has one of the largest youth sports organizations with approximately 95,000 players, coaches, and referees. Illinois Youth Soccer is a non-profit corporation, official state association and charter member of the U.S. Soccer Federation, administers U.S. Soccer Federation coaching programs, the Olympic Development Program, and U.S. Soccer Federation referee programs.
And now, the latest Chicago area soccer news. Soccer news. With Coach Adam.
So I'm assuming there's news. I
better find some. Of course, there's always news. Yeah, no, we're excited for the spring season. Weather's starting to break in Chicago. This is fantastic. Really looking forward to it. But want to wish all the teams who just started their seasons last week and a half or so.
Right.
So I know it's been a bit of a challenge. We've had a fair bit of rain with the weather getting out there, but should be very, very good. But just really from my end, the biggest things that we're excited about coming up, we've got a couple of grassroots courses that we're going to be posting here for those coaches that want to get into 2 D licenses we have opened up. That's going to be over the summer, so there's lots of opportunities for coaching education. And information is going to be going out to our ODP players very, very soon for our sub-regional, which will be in June. That's their last chance to be recognized and potentially be invited to the regional camp. The pathway starts. And just as a side note, what was really exciting, I think I even posted this somewhere on social media. I want to just give a shout out to Chase Adams. He made his full professional debut with the Columbus Crew in the U.S. Open Cup last week. So pretty proud moment, I'm sure, for him and his parents. You know, he was born in 2008. Gives you an idea. He's 18 years old.
Amazing.
Making his debut for Columbus Crew. And started in our program. I remember working with him in pre-ODP, so it was great to see that journey for him. So congrats to Chase and his family, and looking forward to seeing all good things in the future from him.
Sounds good.
Time now to guess the Premier League star.
Okay, I've got a very unusual one this week.
All right, okay.
This is a Premier League star who shares a name with another famous person.
Okay.
All right.
The full name.
The full name. So I'm going to give you clues about the famous person.
All right.
And the Premier League star.
Oh, wow. So I get twice as many clues.
Twice as many clues. All right, you ready?
Dominic Solanke. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
The movie star he shares a name with was born in 1928 in Oklahoma. The footballer was born in 2001 in Birkenhead in Merseyside. The movie star was in the great World War II movie, The Great Escape. The footballer came up in the Manchester United Academy and now plays for one of the two Liverpool clubs.
Luckily, that Great Escape helped me.
That did
one
it.
of my most favorite movies.
I love that movie.
So I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
James Garner.
That is right. I'll give you the rest of the clues because I did spend some time on this. He had 2 TV hits.
Yeah.
He was in Maverick. He was also Jim Rockford in the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
The footballer wears number 37 as a central midfielder. Has played in over 100 games for Everton. And made his national team debut in March during a 1-1 draw against Uruguay.
Yeah.
And was named the English player of the match.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's an up-and-comer.
He is. He's right on the bubble for the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
He really is. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, that's that movie, The Great Escape. If people haven't seen that, one of the best. The Steve McQueen part at the end, you know, when he's trying to escape and it's
with
just
the motorcycle.
Oh yeah, brilliant. It was a movie I used to watch at Christmas in England growing up. They used to show it on Christmas Day every year. And it's like, after Christmas dinner, that's what you would do. You would sit down and watch The Great Escape, and you did it every year.
Well, it is mainly a British movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 2 Americans in the whole cast.
Right, that's true. And the movie...
James Garner, Steve McQueen.
Yeah, exactly. And the movie Victory, which is actually called Escape to Victory in England, is basically based on that movie. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, just with the football part. Another good movie for people to go watch. So,
have you ever been to my cousin Kurt Melcher's house?
I have not.
He has an entire bathroom dedicated to the film Victory.
Does he really?
Yes.
I'll have to check that out.
It's like apparently something he really, really cares about.
Yeah, for sure.
Now time for Adam's Weekend Soccer TV Tip.
Friday, we start off with Sunderland, Nottingham Forest. So kind of the next week kind of begins. But, you know, for me, I mean, I think we just got to monitor these games that are happening in terms of the key matches. Top of the table, bottom of the table. But for me, I'm really excited to see this West Ham, Everton, Wolves, Spurs kind of. I mean, I'm more intrigued with this rather than even the Championship, just because there's just so many things that can happen. And these are 2 big clubs.
Yes.
2 big clubs. I mean, 60,000 regularly going to their game. So one of those is looking like they're going to go down. So Saturday, good day to watch West Ham, Everton. You're going to have to flick back and forth. Wolves versus Spurs, 9 o'clock kickoffs. I think should be some good ones there for sure.
And who did West Ham play?
West Ham is playing Everton. They're at home.
Everton.
And then Spurs were away at Wolves. You would expect Spurs to win because Wolves are down. They're officially relegated.
Right.
So you would expect Spurs to win that. So that might bring them a little closer. West Ham gets a draw. You never know.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because I think the top 5 slots are almost locked in at this point.
Yeah. Unless Liverpool goes on a kind of a poorish run, I think that's going to be the issue.
It's always possible.
Yeah, it could always happen. But yeah, so those are the games to watch for sure, especially in the league. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Free Kicks is brought to us by the Green White Soccer Club. And we have our 70th anniversary coming this year. And I would quickly like to mention some of the families that have helped us out over the years. You ready?
Okay. That's probably going to be a long list.
It's 70. I've got 70 names because it's the 70th anniversary. Albrecht, Alexander, Andres, Baker, Becker, Bender, Blas, Bless, Bischoff, Bittenbender, Boltz, Chop, Duddles, Dunkels, Edders, Feichtel, Fernbach, Filian, Falkers, Franz, Freiberger. That if you're noticing anything about these names, Kefkakis, Yurko, Harjung, Hertel, Howarth, Kempf, Kempfer, Keen, Killian, Kirchner, Knobel, Kramer, Laxgang, Limna, Mansfield, Marks.
Wow.
Okay, that's only half. I'm going to do the next half.
35
next week. Yeah. So thank you to all of those families that have made this club great for 70 years. And we have people to thank on this show. We need to thank our executive producer, Tony Lasano with Opie Shows. We also have to thank Ed Sillam, the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place. RadioMisfits.com. And now I'm heading out of town this week, but I will be around next week. You want to do another one?
Of course.
All right. We'll do another episode next week of
Free Kicks.
The proceeding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at RadioMisfits.com. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?
This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
We are happy to have Mark Cuban on the show.
Is there a way that we can monetize my daughter's eye rolls? Can you do anything? Can you figure that out?
So my daughter, I'll let her put on Sirius XM whatever song she likes. We pull into this half circle when I drop her off, and, she's ready to get out of the car. I'll say, I love you, sweetie. Bam! Blast it. And, and if it's a song I know the words to, then I'm singing along, too, and her friends are looking at me and looking at the car.
Oh, man, there's nothing more embarrassing than dad singing along.
Oh, man, it's like, Kiki, do you love me?
Tony Lasano Podcast and Opie Production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
RadioMisfits.com.